Greetings, good people. What's up? What's happening? Bear with me for any disturbance. I'm broadcasting from Chitungwiza, an open prison, a refugee camp. So in this video, we're going to be talking about the end of ZANU-PF as we put the final blow to these criminals, and as we put the final nail to their coffin. ZANU-PF is a criminal mafia. It is not a legitimate political party or government. ZANU-PF is entirely a mafia. Now, 45 years after so-called independence, if we go back in time before independence, we see this. We see blacks. Can we see the way they are dressed right now? We see them holding placards. One is written, "Wanted for murder, Ian Smith Muzorewa." We see Ian Smith there holding a gun. ZANLA will phone call of the Zimbabwe Army. ZANU-PF neo-colony. If we are to compare the dressing that Zimbabweans wear right about now, can you see the building behind them? Can you see the health of the men holding those placards? It is different from today. When we think of the Rhodesian times, we think of Ian Smith. Ian Smith is only a leader for one term. The man who will be responsible for educating the blacks who would become gorillas. Garfield Todd moves from New Zealand in 1936. 20 years later, 1953, he is a prime minister. He is a prime minister only for 5 years. In his 5 years as a prime minister, ndiye muna akachinja ma blacks kuva pa AM as an African male or AF African female to minister. This is happening during his term 1953 to 1958. He is a ruler for one term. In 1958, he is replaced by Edgar Whitehead. So, what the Rhodesians are fighting for is equality and opportunities for everybody. They are building schools. They are building schools. When he moves to Rhodesia in 1932, in 1934, as a missionary, he runs the Daya Mission School, where Robert Gabriel Mugabe is taught at the Daya Mission School. And a lot of my grandfathers at the Daya Mission School. He is elected to parliament in 1948. Right now we have a parliament in Zimbabwe. I'm going to take you to check out a Rhodesian parliament so that we can see that these guys are fooling us. This is a parliament. Year 1946. There is a member of parliament for Insiza, member of parliament for Shabani, Prime Minister of Southern Rhodesia, Minister of Trade and Industrial Development, not Minister of Trade, Tariffing and Demolitions, no, Minister of Finance, Minister of Posts and Telegraphs. There is Minister of International Affairs and Justice, Minister of Labor, Minister of Native Education, Minister of Labor and Social Welfare. There is even a Minister of Native Education. We are the natives. This was the Legislative Assembly order. in the days of Rhodesia. First street yata kuchemera iyi, it's built in 1890. We see a cartoon here coming from Rhodesia. Can we see this cartoon? These are some of the methods that are employed by Garfield Todd to teach the masses. We see a lawyer there sitting on the Constitution, Chief Justice, US yearly 10,500 salary. Then we see manager of Steel Trust, 1 million yearly salary. Then we see a joker standing in the middle there, thinking, which one should I become? There's a manager of a Steel Trust, 1 million yearly salary. Then there is a Chief Justice. Now, what do we have? There are no banks with no money. There are no banks with no commerce, with no trade. There is no insurance. There is no law without whoever to represent, without estates to execute, without people getting into matrimony, marriages. What would be the need for legal to be? Legal is always between parties or individuals. A political party is just a group of collected people who call themselves a party. It's not a jurisdictional person. It has no rights. We see this here. Now, here where we are, 2025. Why is this picture trending now? We see the now so-called president, Emerson Mnangagwa, with Joanna Mamombe, one of the people who is the reason why we are not in the Commonwealth. Have we forgotten about this Lancaster House Agreement, which is signed on 21 December 1979, and we see 7 days later, 28 December, he is already dead. In 7 days, apanga kavarirwa kujeri ku Zambia. We see this something up when Nongo came here. Tongogara was murdered on Monday. Zanla commander Josiah Tongogara was killed by his own forces in Mozambique on Monday. His own forces in Mozambique. How long was he in Zambia? Following the Ntumbani uprising, following the murder of Herbert Chitepo. Remember, Josiah Tongogara and Chitepo were not members to a same party. No, we had guerrillas, different guerrillas, and Mugabe comes in as their Lancaster House. We are going to go there as a joint movement. Now, everybody who was alive during the days of the liberation struggle, they are now under this mafia they call ZANU-PF, spreading the lie that ZANU-PF fought for the liberation struggle, for a liberation that never was. If you think you are ZANU-PF, you can pass any legislation to steal what was never yours. You are lying to yourself. You are lying to yourself. The people of Zimbabwe, they don't even need to vote you out. We will do our thing and we stop recognizing you. We will employ international courts from those that witnessed the Lancaster House Agreement going straight to the United Nations, a country where you have a government of how many people? Let's see. All these ministries, they are deputies: Minister of Defense, Minister of Energy and Power Development, Minister of Climate and Wildlife Environment, Climate Wildlife, Minister of Finance and Investment Promotion, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Minister of Good Health and Child Care, Minister of Higher and Tertiary Education, which is stationary. They all have deputies. This one, remember, I'm streaming from my phone. Minister of Information, Minister of Information, Communication Technology, Minister of Justice Legal, Minister of Lands, Minister of Agriculture, Fisheries and Rural, Minister of Local Government, Public Works, Minister of Mines and Mining Development, Minister of National Housing, Minister of Buying Phones and Computers, Minister of Installing Applications, Minister of Buying Microphones, Minister of many gospels. Here, Minister of Local Government, Public Works, Mining Development, National Housing and Social Amenities, Primary and Secondary Education, Higher and Tertiary, Minister of Public, I'm looking into 2023, Minister of Sports, Recreation and Culture, Minister of Tourism, Hospitality, Minister of Liberation Struggles Affairs, Minister of Women Affairs, Community, Small and Medium Enterprise Development. So these guys, they come up with all sorts of ministries to be giving jobs to their relatives. Now, nobody is productive. All they are doing is looting the minerals and looting whatever small you may have worked for. And they call you informal traders. What is informal? Informal means that without form, that which is without form, that which is without order. Like the difference between Group A schools, quite this one at Cambridge, and Group D schools, which were set up in communities by missionaries, the likes of here in Chitungu was set by my great-grandfather, Ananyat Sima, and Awad Love. I remember before my father is murdered in 2008, we used to go and pass through Watershed. So I'm just looking up Watershed College right about now. Watershed College is secondary school, high school, in a primary, you know, grade 1. They specialize in teaching through agriculture, farm produce, mombe, wuku, seedlings, magam tree. Right now we even have ministers of education in this nonsense. I'm looking up the details. I'm seeing that Watershed is 150,000 hectares of land where students through agriculture they are taught. So this is can you see size here building in my classrooms? Comprises 3 farms of about 150 hectares. Just over 105 hectares are arable. Anorimika. 8 hectares of conservative Masasa woodlot, which is left to natural as a heritage site and a reminder suitable for livestock grazing. Right. We see Even in the 2016-2017 season, watershed still farming, they contribute to tobacco. Watershed chikoro. In urban areas, zvikoro zvinengana na ichi chiri kwamakasa Parliament uku. I'm forgetting the name. Sporting, where we would see an Anarchist Coventry from Group A schools. Sporting culture. Here, back to watershed. Maize, 60 hectares of maize per year. By 2000, Zimbabwe, from Rhodesia has always been a bread basket. It has never been a bread basket to its own. It is not even a basket case. Horticulture. Growing plants like lettuce, broccoli, cauliflower, cabbage, spinach, grapes, peas, carrots, fine peas, onions, tomatoes, pepper, butternut, squash, watermelon, marrow, and potatoes. Right now, where we are, they have 60 kettles. I remember when we used to go there, a whole lot of kettles. Dairy, 154 dairy kettle. Another place with a dairy kettle, Tagwina Mashingo. Up, Beatrice area. Piggery, 72 pigs. Poultry, every 2 weeks they slaughter 2,000 birds, way less than we used to keep here in Zingeza and my rural area. Right now, this is now a Tongogara refugee camp. Yes, Kugara inini manje. If you think you can suck my blood, just because I'm Gushungo, you cannot touch me. I can't be having this nonsense. People seated pamsika opposite pangu. But then bando zetpega ramdara this gara zik. Who is one of us who suffer during the 2005 demolitions? When you demolish home industry, il side person marries uniformed criminals who call themselves police station there, only getting paid for giving the owners of this land misery. This ends. It is finished already. Your days are numbered. Those who perished in the liberation struggle, they are turning in their graves. They have died for nothing until that which they died for is attained. We had great ministers like Fei Chang, who officially opens Zingeza Public Library. I passed through there today. I'm seeing it's not open. I look inside. Not today. It was on a Sunday. I see it's well swept. My place is Mbava Zekanzuru. I tried this library long back. I'm not gonna book one of them soro. Kushikaguna tonas kweso. Kushikada kuchaka mabuku pa internet. Kusatu kwato mwela strive masiva. Muno Zimbabwe. Now this is officially opened August 1988. I am born at second clinic, not Zengeza clinic. Zengeza Zengeza clinic in May 1988. In May. I am born alive. I'm still alive today. So there will be nobody to be trading during fuel shortages like the nonsense we are seeing happening at Chitungwiza Hospital. Chitungwiza Hospital, which trains nurses In Africa, how many nurse training facilities do we have? In Zimbabwe, how many? Back in the days, the Chinese, when they came, they were building us hospitals like Sadza Hospital. Sadza. Under Chifu. You know, it's under weather. Kwakaruya wondo chaiyo. No team town di muno mu alare muno mu. Mengota bomba share service stations. A Zimbabwean, a cooperative people who work together. To the ZANU-PF guys, begin to be making other retirement plans. Begin to be making other retirement plans. Now the big issue, the issue of chiefs. Parliament of 1980, senators, who are they? We see Senator Ankers, Senator Blatt. In 1980, Garfield Todd is a senator also. And Mugabe is a prime minister. Senator Chinengundu, Senator Chief Chingoma, Senator Chief Chitanga, Senator Chiwende, Senator Miss Clark, Senator Chief Dakamela, Senator Fleming, Senator Chief Gwebu, Senator Hartley, Senator Wungwe, Senator Makanda, Senator Makunde, Senator Chief Mashayamombe, Senator Moyo FP, Senator Honorable Msika JW. This is one page. We're going, and these ones are titled as who? Africa Nationalist Leaders. Nationalist leaders. We have Senator Chief Mashayamombe, Senator Mo FP Msika, Senator Mbako, Muset BH, Senator Chief Ndiweni. Senator Chief Ndiweni. We see at one time Chief Ndiweni is being given a hard time. I stand with Chief Ndiweni. Kono ujifunga utungati. Uyu ndiani, you think Ndiwani. Kana wakaenda kuonde kuluta. Senator Ndlovu, Senator Honorable Nkala, Senator Honorable Norman, Senator Chief Nyati, Senator Honorable Patrice, Senator Savage, Senator Chief Seke, Senator Shoniwa, Senator Tangwena Ala, Senator Wayi, Senator Chief Wata, Senator Ziyambe, Miss Takawira, Miss Mijati, Senator Calverwell, Senator Honorable Garfield Todd, Honorable Ima nima MP nima Honorable nima Councillor ma Councillor jitori better kuma urban areas ma headmaster ITEO ma ghetto headman not ma ghetto youths kuti akangoita Councillor akangotenga tenga tukumasutu nika ex jap apa sina kana picture kumboti iwe mutadze ku Germany ma American cars, things like that. Kudala ma truck isusu time ati makago ezwe zakunzi magwenyeti ma truck drivers, they can't be moving even if there is no chaos in Mozambique. The struggle continues. The struggle continues. Whoever wants to think what? You are worried. You are very shaking. Keep on shaking. Make other resignation plans. Zimbabwe does not belong to you and your friends and your dynasties. When Thomas Mapfumo, the greatest African musician ever in the world, he is up there in the top 10, cannot live in his own country. When Comrade Chings Chingairi, an established artist, an actual Liberation War hero, Thomas Mapfumo, who coined Chimrenga music. The first war is Matabele War. Matabele War, Matibiri, Gushungo. Doesn't mean Debele. Gushungo Ngonya. Oromangwenya Garwe Chairo. Now we are seeing this posing with the prisoners, holding microphones. When Thomas Mapfumo cannot live in his own nation. ZANU-PF is known as a brutal political party. Whatever you are, government is politics. Government can never be able to do that which government is not allowed. When we say pillars of state, we don't even have a nation state. We don't even have a republican. We are still in ruin. We are still in the powerless shit. As in Dodi Yumas, Zimbabwe. Simbaraga Buda Udara. Chingori Chimombe, Chisna Simba, Chisna Mwayam. Nikaga Mama Udara, Sula Udara. That is what Zimbabwe means. Which is a Dutch term. Why would we name this country Zimbabwe? We see in America, my black American, they start accepting their history. Nigga. Anatupa kwa shoti, madafuku, you know, things like that. To avoid a distortion of our history. Now, we see this nonsense. Unoda kuti munhu atange mining. Yes, it's less than 2,000. Mazimbabwe ana 2,000 iwayo. But iwewe unozizimura kunge zinwa yekutangwa namujuri yekuda kubhadharisa vanhu malicense emigodi wafoira kuisa running water. Chawagona kutora mayouth uchiwaisa run around iri toy. So we see watershed has agriculture, group A schools in urban areas. They have sporting culture. In South Africa, they have the matrix culture. In South Africa, it's only the last year, grade 12 of their academic year, where they enter into that matrix culture. Things like club, etc., progression. We see Garfield Todd is a liberal leader, a progressive leader, who is there to promote free enterprise. You are doing opposite. You are looking for investors in a rich country and rich people, a working people. Factors of production is labor. Labor chete. Labor chete. Kuna na India huku. Entire towns and cities survive. Nekuita ma call center makama na kwa America huku. You think Econet wireless only? We're not talking of Google. Econet wireless only, with at least 4 million subscribers. Because it's more than half the population. Customer support yao yakakura sei. Yongoti mwanangu phone achingoti ndilauchinja mari yangu kubva kuma US kwenda kuma Ziggy. Iyo beru di change chiripo yakatangwa na mtulingwibe uyu mushure memwe mabisa zemu switch. So you think you will have a local currency when we have papers that are printed? Cool. Right now our supermarkets, when they're trading the money, you have a separate ZIM switch system. How about international MasterCard, which brings foreign US dollar? And how about me if I just start my own bank? You think you can stop me? Or start my own currency? The same Hawala technique we see Hubert Angel doing. Just buy online. I'm leaving this nation and we continue the struggle from outside. So if you're gonna murder me, be very quickly. You're not gonna catch me. I'm gonna sign out right about now. 6 p.m. I'll be back again 7 p.m., 8 p.m., 9 p.m., 10 p.m., 11 p.m., 12 a.m. with live broadcasts as we give the final blow.